DreamHack Masters Malmö is brought to you by Aces ROG, HyperX, and Monster Energy.
DreamHack Masters Malmö is back. There was a fire alarm, and standard procedure here in Sweden is to evacuate the entire building. When you've got a whole lot of CS fans, it can take a while. Thank you for staying with us. Everyone is safe. There was no fire, and of course everyone's safety is a priority. But we are back. Yeah, I've never seen it before, and it was quite a unique experience. But what can I say? You know, I knew the world wasn't ready for my mixtape. I'm joined by none other than Sponge, Janko, and Vendetta.
I appreciate, Alex, your political correctness and all of that, but I think the public deserves to know the truth. And this was just a ploy from Room on Fire's new marketing manager, Chad Sponge Burchill. Welcome to the team.
I've been promoted. Haven't changed my Twitter handle.
He loves to be in the spotlight. Old Chad.
It was nice. So got some fresh air.
This was his way of announcing his
Look,
entrance.
Janko is also incorrect here. It's because Dozier walked in the building. The sex god himself lit the place alight.
Could not be stopped. And everyone is safe. Just to clarify one last time, we're back in business. DreamHack Masters will continue, and that's a new one, however. That is a complete new one. Do you have any firefighting experience?
Firefight, not as much.
No?
No, Anders might have some, though, from his younger days.
I believe it. I absolutely do. We've got to talk about some Counter-Strike.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire, Alex. Am I excited for this next one?
Goodness me. Let's go into this one with a smile on our face and a chip on our shoulder, because in case you've forgotten, or in case you hadn't, you've only just joined us, I know, quite the time to turn up. You've got an evening planned. This could be quite the long one because we have had some sterling series so far. It's about the best of threes, every map, even some cheeky overtimes in there. It's been a blast, and this one will be no different. We have revenge, a bit of a grudge match going on between Astralis taking on Gambit. Lots of things to be said about this one. I have the gentleman here to talk about this up-and-coming match. And I think no better than Janko to start us off just by filling us in, if anyone didn't catch the major, is unfamiliar with why we're calling this a taste or an attempt at revenge.
Yes, Gambit, the reigning major champions, actually met Astralis in the semi-final, and that was after Astralis already bested SK Gaming, and everyone was thinking, okay, that was their biggest hurdle. Now they have an open road towards their second consecutive major title, but Gambit actually managed to put a stop on that by legitimately outplaying Astralis in a best-of-3 series. That last game on Train was amazing. Mo had maybe even the performance of his life on Overpass, which was very, very crucial for Gambit. So the Astralis guys will definitely be out for blood in this matchup. I think that loss hurts them probably the most ever since they had this lineup formed.
Absolutely, and it sounds like the players are actually raring to go, so we will breeze through this. We'll be talking to you guys in just a moment, but who better than the players themselves as we get to hear from them? They won't be walking out, but we do get to hear from them and their thoughts and aspirations coming into not only this tournament, but also this best of 3.
Last year the crowd was super immense and it was super great. I loved it. Despite going out in the groups, we actually stayed to watch a couple of the games here. And I hope that a lot of Danish fans are going to make it across the bridge and actually come support us.
It's my first Portal Finals in my life. DreamHack Malmö is the biggest tournament that I ever played. It's going to be good.
Guardian's getting a ton of guard. He has no idea that's coming. This is huge for Gambit, and even Rain falls. They're caught with their pants down, and Gambit takes complete advantage.
I know that we can make it all the way, and that is the goal, to win everything. I know we can go all the way, and I know we can beat everyone here, so that's the main focus.
How many times are they going to give him no chance to hit that shot now?
Yeah, Dupree is actually amazing at that shot.
We are the #1. That's why we should win DreamHack Masters. I believe in our team chances.
I definitely believe that we are able to win DreamHack Masters Malmö. We have proven it before that we can win big tournaments, and we're here to do it again.
They're here to do it again. Astralis, and we get to hear from Glaive there, who was, of course, the in-game leader who has managed to catalyze.
Catalyze.
I don't think that's a word. Either way, he has managed to instigate a real peak in what the Danes are capable of. And you spoke to Dupree as well. You can see him on your screens there. Someone needs to stop peeking him on Overpass. We saw just how ridiculous he can be on it already. We get to see him now battling versus Gambit. Also, what stands out to me is just simply the fact that we haven't seen too much of Astralis. How much have we actually talked about Astralis Halfor? These guys have kind of just quite quietly got themselves, you know, that 2-0 and...
Yeah, left it at that.
Left it at that.
I mean, they've kept it to, you know, to business as usual, really. I guess for their best of three matchup to decide whether or not they would make it to the playoffs, I don't think there was as much of a doubt, really, in anybody's mind that they would actually get the better of Na'Vi in their current form. So, yeah, there hasn't really been too much to focus on them. It's kind of been as expected. I guess this is going to be their first real test in that sense.
Just a little bit of a fun tidbit. Astralis got to this position, this game, by dropping 19 rounds. Everyone else to get to the same position dropped 45 minimum.
Yeah, and you have to look at the stats on these boys. Device, Glaive, Dupree, and Kirby and Zipnix are all within the top, what do we got, top 10 players in the tournament right now, which is just insane. I don't think anyone's going to be able to hold a candle to them, Alex. That's all this segment is for me, by the way.
Okay,
I'm just going to let you guys know.
Crowbar them in.
I can already tell what map you're hoping for. Inferno?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. And on the other side of the stage, and this is an intriguing one, is that recently in a tweet actually from Astralis, or I think it was actually Dupree specifically, he stated, Yanko, he thinks Mo, especially on that T side, is amongst the top 5 AWPers currently competing. He really has a lot of praise to give towards that man.
True, he has been playing on another level recently, most notably at the Major, right? But there's a big question of his consistency. Will he be able to do that in this matchup for starters and also in future tournaments? I think no one doubts Mo when he's on his A game, but how often does that actually happen? New guy on your screen, Fitch seems to have molded with the team pretty well. We saw his interview with HLTV, Adren telling him, listen, just focus on your aim, just focus on playing and killing people. Basically, we will worry about the rest. We will tell you what we need you to do in certain rounds. And I think that's a good approach. That alleviates a lot of pressure from the... Oh my God.
It must be nice.
I'm completely thrown off.
Must be nice just to be able to tell, just focus on your crosshair. Like, don't worry about anything
else. What a
else.
luxury.
Just focus on your crosshair and shoot people in the head.
Has anyone ever told you that?
No.
Chad?
No.
But everything else is existing, right? He's basically just slotting into a pre-existing system. And for now, coming into an event so quickly, it's going to be like, look, just play some Counter-Strike and we'll see how far we can get. However, there seems to be a lot of positivity surrounding Fitch. You know, other new names to rosters sometimes do get put under the microscope and actually do get a kind of barrage of criticisms their way. Fitch, holds his own, and that's coming from, you know, the CS minds as well as other players. So that's a real start.
I definitely think he's doing a stand-up job in the sense of we haven't criticized him to this point, but this is their first real challenge, right? Obviously versus NIP things are a little bit shaky, but still a close matchup overall. Going up against a tier 1 opponent like Astralis, that's going to be the one where he needs to bring the heat.
It is time to talk maps, gents. Already the veto is getting underway, and we can go ahead and start brainstorming as to how this one does go down. Now, Overpass seems to be Gambit's bane at this point. Now, Yanko, previously you hailed it as being one of their strengths.
True, so it's a very interesting approach for them. I mean, against Astralis, it's a matter of, you know, they're the best team in the world on this map. We don't want to face them on it, but this leaves Nukin. So what are they going to do now? I mean, Astralis can just go and pick that. They're going to veto Cobble, of course. And I think for Astralis, it's Nuke. For Gambit, it's most likely going to be Cash. I think Cash or Inferno, those are the 2 maps that you like to target basically Astralis on. It would be very ballsy if they go for Train and we see them going for Cash. Also, Cash is a good pick because it doesn't matter that much on which side you start. It's more of a T-sided map, so it's a good first map of a series.
Yeah, Chad, I hear you umming and ahhing at the Mirage draft.
Yeah, it's just, it's not that Astralis aren't good at this map. They have a very high win percentage on it. It's just an interesting one for that to be their first pick, right? So maybe they're just punishing the weaknesses of Gambit here.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much left available. We had the Train in the pool.
No Inferno, sadly.
Gambit leaving Nuke still.
So Train's going to get banned here, and it'll be Nuke as the 3rd, I'd assume.
And it's really weird that they leave Nuke in. Astralis actually just going to let it go to Train. I think Gambit couldn't be happier about how that panned out for a 3rd map. And even though we did see Gambit beat FaZe on Nuke yesterday. I think Adren even said it himself. Like, we didn't really have like a clear idea of what we were doing. Everybody was just moving around and then just saying what they wanted to do, and that kind of panned out. And that's obviously not going to be as easy versus Astralis.
A different kettle of fish.
They're definitely at a bit of a different level than the FaZe are right now. So for them to still get trained through, even with, I guess, a bit of an unorthodox end to the veto is kind of a good sign for Gambit. But then again, it could be confidence on Astralis' end. In addition to that.
Why is Astralis not playing Nuke?
I know, right?
It's like, I don't get it. I mean,
think out loud.
It can be maybe, you know, they're not confident on it, maybe some bad results in practice, Mirage has been stronger. I can understand, for example, picking Mirage, right? You're picking towards your opponent's weaknesses, maybe more so than to your own strengths. But when you have the third map, and you know Train is one of the strongest maps for Gambit, they would have probably picked it if it weren't a good map for Astralis as well. And you have the ability to play Nuke, a map on which you know they're not that strong on. I don't really see the thought process there. Yes, you can say they're super confident on every map, but you know, that's turning into arrogance a little bit.
Chad, I mean, you have anything to add to this pile of...
I just think the only reason that Gambit won Nuke yesterday was because of Hobbit. He went plus 17 and they had those amazing pistol rounds. That doesn't happen time and time again. We already touched on consistency. Consistency for Hobbit to do that again, unlikely. Consistency for Mo to do an amazing performance like he did on Overpass on any other map again is very unlikely. It's just... it's not a map that you're going to expect Gambit to do the same thing on, or at least the players to be as good individually on again. But
if you think about the map, though, Nuke as a whole, not necessarily every team has found consistency on that map. It doesn't matter how. Like, if you look at the earlier days, obviously, more volatility to be expected there, but, you know, the assumed best teams in the world could just, at random, drop maps versus teams who actually didn't practice it at all. So for Astralis, at least they know what they're getting into with Train, especially with having seen 2 maps already.
Do you guys know what you're getting into with your predictions? That's the big question, because it sounds like they're knifing already, so let's go for a real TLDR.
I'm going to go with Astralis 2-0.
Okay, doubting Gambit, no revenge for them. Or rather, revenge for them. How about you, Havor?
Yeah, blazing fast, 2-0 for Astralis.
Blazing fast, apparently. Okay, Yanko?
Well, Astralis.
We're bucking the 3-map trend so far today. It has been a real fantastic day, if you like, long and drawn-out, incredible series, though, that do just go back and forth, and underdogs have thrived so far. After conceding the first map, we've seen some reverse sweeps to remember. All right, then it sounds like Acasters are chomping at the bit to get involved in this one. Who better than the Room on Fire gang here to kick us back off? It is
Not bad, is it?
And it's Moses.
That's good timing.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I can see Chad is enjoying the long days as well. He seems to be mentally
not breaking down whatsoever in any way.
You guys know I just love great Counter-Strike, and we're getting to see a lot of that today, and I can't wait for this series.
Me neither. I think it's going to be incredibly interesting. People seem, myself included, actually, seem to be underestimating Gambit a lot. So you guys say 2-0 a lot, but I don't know. Like, I think this could be 3 maps.
You got a Gambit shirt under there?
Maybe.
There's one in the mail, obviously.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. No, I think Astralis is. I don't think you can go against Astralis in this series, even though this is a great revenge matchup from the major. That's quite fun, I think.
All right, guys. Well, it sounds like you've got to go ahead and raise the decibel levels, and we'll kick this one off.
Cheers, boys.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Alex. We are just about to be ready here with Astralis and Gambit, the third quarterfinals of DreamHack Malmö 2017. Moses, you feel ready for this?
I am definitely feeling ready for this. This is going to be absolutely sick. I'm super impressed. I'm glad they touched on Fitch quite a bit in the pregame because I've been very pleased. This is a whole new test, though, right? This Astralis team is going to be just a different animal. So very tactical as well. So good at reading the game. And it's very easy for a player who's in some of the roles that we've seen from Fitch to get kind of lured out of his position of comfort in one of these bomb sites.
Yeah, you would have thought coming into this team, brand new, that would be a bit of an issue for him. It definitely has not been. He's been performing at a very high level, and the rest of the Gambit team is looking interesting now. The big trade-off, I thought, was, well, now Adren is doing the calling. That's a big issue because he's having a sort of a big drop in his personal level. But yesterday, that wasn't the case. He played very well. If that keeps happening, I don't know, man. And Hobbit, he's out of control in some games.
Yes, Hobbit is a big X factor, isn't he? And even, you're right to point that out, because we've seen some of those bad games out of Glaive, or I mean, not out of Glaive, excuse me, out of Adren.
Yes.
And then we've seen some of the bigger games, you know, some of this tournament, even while leading. So I think still the big key here is obviously going to be Mo, because if you go back to that series from the Major, to watch Mo, you know, out-opping Device so handily in that series, that's actually craziness. If that goes off again, I mean, that was the big story of that matchup, was That's a once-in-a-lifetime performance out of Mo. Can he actually ever do that again? And I guess we're about to get the answer, Anders. Cash is starting, the pistol round is kicking off, freeze time coming to a close. And we've got Doja with the utility. Molotov, smoke, decoy. And Mo hasn't bought anything. Just gets it in at the last second, a little bit delayed off the line.
Gotta be careful about that. I'm loving the audience already fired up here. And Gambit on the T side, Astralis on the CT side of Cash, and Glaive trying to control the middle against quite a few Ts. On the other side, he's going to have to fall back. If he overextends this position, they lose mid-control, and that B-bomb side is going to be very exposed. That's where the bomb is there. Device alone at headshot. He's trying to rotate him, but they're going to be there too late. Device has to do everything right now, and he's missing almost all the bullets. He's going to go down eventually, and a great smoke. The timing here for Gambit is just perfect.
The pace is so fast. Astralis can't rotate over before the read comes in, and Dupree's got to get something. A great kill from Glaive to bring this into a 4-on-4 before the bomb goes down, but it's going to be all on the flank. It's Kirby and Glaive pushing through middle. Dupree and Zipnik's waiting for them for position, and here's Mo. He's there to stop him, but he can't do it.
Oh, Glaive to take down one. Adren not expecting a second player. He never got the info. Now it's a 2-on-2 and trying to get in. Hobbit with a great headshot to take down Dupree. And Kirby, he's out in the middle of the site. No cover here. If they don't both peek him, he's got no chance at all. And I think he just has to fall back and look for the exit frags. There's a good headshot on one. Going for the second, but Fitch will take him down. And Gambit win the pistol. That just looked so well planned.
It looked so easy, didn't it? Because Gambit just gets mid-control, they force back the player in connector. I believe that was Glaive. And I guess he just didn't realize how susceptible B was, or didn't expect them to hit the bomb site that fast. But 3 players out mid for Gambit, and the other 2 just quickly heading over to the B bomb site, and they find the perfect timing. Device couldn't get anything done. That's a player you would normally say in that situation gets at least 1. Unfortunately missing everything, not looking too crisp. But against pistols, some early damage dealt, and actually Fitch on the roof finishes off Glaive.
It's not bad, shooting through the smoke while the boost is going on. Definitely a bit of a distraction. And now they're all grouped up, except for a single Hobbit, sort of making sure that no one's flanking. You have to like this from Gambit. There's not much of a chance for Astralis to do big things here. They have one flashbang on Dupree, but he's miles away.
Actually pretty sick as well from Gambit. They see that smoke go down in the connector, and they know that allows pistols to get close. And they just don't want to mess with it whatsoever. They just back off completely. Even Adren taking damage down to 21. He's going to toss the AK over, swap it for the MAC-10. But still, you're exactly right. Staying all grouped up, just making sure you'll always have the opportunity to trade kills.
Ooh. Device ruining a time-honored tradition of standing headshot with the Deagle. I was kind of looking forward to that. Instead, he's on the side. Now, the problem is they have grenades, so he's not just going to have like a clear shot. Although now that Kirby's coming in here, slight increase in the chances that this can work out well for Astralis. He's close with the C-set 75, and there's the position. Device going to get the one, and he's going to try and fall back. Kirby picking up, and he's trying to reload. Flashbang is in, and Fitch is gone. And now right around the corner, Kirby's got 1 bullet. He's already reloaded, so he can't actually shoot anymore. Hobbit trying to see if he can make this work. He's going to pick up another AK, continue the spray. Sip will take him down. And now Doja in a lot of trouble. The bomb, he doesn't have it. 20 seconds left. He's trying to make his way onto the side. He's going to get dropped by Kirby. Astralis winning the round back in the most unlikely fashion. Tell me, Moses, that was not a team flash.
It looked like it, didn't it, from the trajectory that came out? I didn't quite see if Astralis threw one. Either way, you want to talk about players who are just playing unselfish. Device, the star player, could have stayed there, could have gone for more shots at headshot, but he backs off knowing he's baited them right into KRB close up. That is so beautiful. Giving up a potential highlight for a more guaranteed kill from his teammate. That's the Astralis that is so dangerous, and going right back into it. Armor, 5 Deagles for the Gambit side of things. I think they're doing some damage to the wall, but it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, they are. I would say cut it out, Astralis. Just leave.
Just get away.
No point any longer, really. We're going to go for a boost in the corner, which is always very effective. It's way more effective when you know they're not going to have a lot of big rifles to try and spray you down up there. 5 Deagles, though, on Gambit. So we could be seeing a lot of action like that if Astralis challenge it too much. Right now, just a bit of a reset in the chaos here. So winning that round back from Astralis, it's got to sting Gambit.
They've got pretty good positioning, though. Zipnix and Kirby on the boost over at the A bomb site. They've got deep info into A main. Here's a big battle, though. Hobbit leading the way with this Deagle. He's going to shy away as well. Kirby's brought down pretty low. There's some danger there, and especially if Fitch goes up highway, this is where this position on KRB gets so dicey. Can Fitch find the kill? It only takes one shot at this range, and there it is.
A great kill. Fitch looking for more. I think he heard Dupree stepping, so he was aware. They're trying to see if they could get that bomb plant down, although Dupree might be able to stop it. I think he's already delayed it a bit, and now Sip comes in with the AK spray. The bomb is planted in default, which means it's very, very hard to defend for any kind of a defuse that might be happening. Still a 3-on-3 as Device picks up the kill on Hobbit. It's looking a bit better, but Gambit, they have a minuscule chance here. How good are those Deagles? Doja goes down. Sip hiding for a very long time, waiting for his teammates. This kind of play from Sip is one of the reasons why continuously he's brought up as one of the best sort of support and just all-around smart players in the world.
Just so intelligent. It's so tempting to peek in that situation, try and find that one player. Actually, I think the priority should have been on Gambit to clear him out of that position once they knew he was there. They let him sit there for far too long, and that really cut out the amount of positions they could get in the post plant. So brilliant from Zipnix, just waiting for everyone. And essentially all the positions were just one-on-one duels. It's Astralis that comes out on top. A great success from Gambit. They do the economic damage. They get the bomb plant. They're going to be happy with that.
Sadly here for the T side, it's still just pistols and no armor. Single flashbang that's been picked up on Doja. Maybe that could be used to set something up, but right now, they just need maybe a couple of kills. It's kind of hard to get the bomb down even when you don't have the armor, so I say Gambit did a pretty good job in the last round?
Yes, they did, for sure. Here's one of the exciting things for this match is Astralis is one of the best teams we have in professional Counter-Strike at utilizing and gaining map control. Nice double peek. There's still more danger on Device. Hold that thought. Flashbang goes out to delay, but he's got to play a little bit more passive. He's got to play to buy time for the rotations. And Dupree is here now, the entire defense leaning over towards B.
He lost control of Check It as well. Hobbit has already done it once, and he wants to do it again, but Device will shut him down. That would have been a great kill. Fitch with the return on Dupree. Device just trying to stay alive back here, make sure he's hard to find. Fitch goes down. Device is flashed, but he's going to have time to reload, and KRB's up top as well. I think they've got a pretty good defense set up. The bomb goes down, and Doja will drop next, so nice attempt from Gambit, I've got to say.
A nice hold from Device, 4 kills on him. He can go for the ace, but it's going to be KRB pushing up that grabs it. What I wanted to say is Astralis is one of the best teams we have at gaining and manipulating and utilizing map control. In this cache, this is constantly, you know, a battle for map control back and forth, and it can be such a difficult job on CT side to have map control, and what do you do when you lose some of it? It'll be fun to watch Astralis and how they maintain, and just watching the dots on the radar, how they move across the map.
Yeah, I think earlier throughout this tournament, that was one of our main points of criticism, watching CT sides really not be active enough and just letting the Ts control too much of the map. So we'll see if Astralis can change that. They are pushing a bit out, and actually, that was maybe a bit of a mistake. Device going down to Hobbit. He was ready for that. They are going to go for the boost over on the A side, but Dren, it's almost like he sensed that. This is not the best start for Astralis, though. The re-smoke there will buy them some time to get into position.
Well, now you'd expect with Zipnix boosted up, going to use that angle. We saw actually Mo pre-fire this angle with the AWP or pre-aim it earlier on. Are they going to check it this time? Perhaps if they end up going there. But with Zipnix being able to jump back between that light and the boost, you expect that KRB will be the one who rotates off if they want to do aggression elsewhere on the map. You can usually put some faith in that boost to be effective for 1 to 2 kills.
They are looking for it. Again, you're right, they check it. Seems like that's par for the course on the Gambit side. Adren opening up now 3 versus 5, and this is one of those must-win rounds. They need the money desperately, Gambit. Counter grenades are coming in, and the rotation is in as well. Down to 40 seconds on the clock, and a double stack towards the forklift as Fitch goes down. They're still making this work. Doja with a refrag. I think that's the first of the game for him. Dupree trying to transfer it on, but Mo will shut him down, and Glaive has to fall back. He's in a 1 versus 4. Surely there is no way back in this round, so that was very patient from Gambit. They took that fight in main for a very long time before they committed to the side.
It really was. It was nicely done from them, and again, pre-aiming that corner obviously helped out by the fact that Device gets picked off so early. And also, countering a pretty interesting move from Astralis, it was KRB and Zipnix, who once that site is under so much pressure, or actually I think it was KRB and Dupree, who just, once that side was taking so much pressure, they both move over to forklift. That's such a critical position to hold. So giving up the bomb site, trying to get there to stop the entrance into it, and trying to get a couple kills, it unfortunately doesn't work out. But Gambit had a battle their whole way in, and Now you go back to the damage done on that round with the Deagles, and you can look at the money on the Astralis side. It's not looking great. They're going to buy in the next round because Zipnix and Careby will be sitting pretty nice. Device and Dupree are going to struggle a bit.
Glaive hiding, and he's going to be successful in saving the rifle, which is very important. But second round for Gambit, obviously great news for them. And now they can even get the AWP on Mo. That should have a high impact on the game. It usually has had when we've seen Gambit so far.
They're being pretty aggressive at the start of these rounds as well. If you go back to the pistol round, even that previous gun runner they picked off Device, they're not afraid to go take a battle in one of these choke points in the early 20 seconds or so, see if they can find that aggression, see if they can trade it and whittle down the defense. Doubt any of that comes out, though, for Astralis, and indeed it's not on this round. They have rotated Device over towards the A bomb site with that AWP. It's going to be Glaive, who's the new anchor of the B bomb site.
Hobbit anticipating a boost inside of B. It's nice to see players, even if it doesn't actually have an impact in the round, just see the alertness, and having Hobbit tuned in, I think, it has to be key for the success here for Gambit. Like, there's no way they can win without him doing well, I think.
That's very true. It's such a dynamic player. We saw the damage he can do yesterday, just on his own individual level. But very patient this time out of Gambit, waiting across the map, trying to get any information. Not hearing a whole lot of noise, just passing the 1 minute mark. And it appears this is when Gambit starts to use some utility, get a couple players in position. And it's going to be Mo with the AWP in the middle of the map.
If this ends up being an A push, there's a chance, I think, that alone in that corner Device is going to maybe be in some trouble, because Sip, who's helping him, has a UMP, and he's probably going to get smoked off. Dupree's there on the highway as well, but they're both going to get smoked off, I think, so I'm sort of wondering about that. I like the rotation that's coming back from Astralis now, because that makes them a bit less vulnerable, although now that they're all the way back at the truck, I might have to take that back. Device with the AWP in the corner. Just how good can he be with 25 seconds left here? Gambit have left it all down to the end of the round, and they're going to have to go for it now, and they're going to have to be very efficient here. Dupree spotting middle and not seeing anyone. They're going to go for the spray, and that was the kill that Dupree needed on Fitch. Now that he opens it up, the bomb side is lost, and Sip goes for a long-range spray, takes one, tapping away with a UMP, and almost getting that headshot on Mo, but it's still a 3-on-4. And this is so well designed by Gambit. They get the kill on Glaive as well, and Astralis, they have to just fall back from this.
This was a masterclass of a round out of Gambit. That was so well done. I was worried at the 30-second mark. Everyone's still spread across the map. Nice shot from Mo to eliminate one more gun. This is going to put Astralis into a save, certainly in the next round, but running down the clock, and what they do is deny information. Smoke in middle, they throw a smoke at the entrance of B. That kind of makes it feel like to the defense that it's going to be a split towards that B bomb site. And you can see players trying to peer around those smokes, trying to find out what's coming, and they just couldn't do it. It froze the rotations. Device, I think, just got a little bit nervous and maybe pulled out of his spot in quad and picked off from mid. And then it's just all over because the next A player is playing at truck.
I mean, we should ask them this, but I would almost bet that Device isn't going to sit there if Dupree sees anyone in middle, right? Dupree just peeks the sort of the angle of the smoke, and he doesn't see anyone, so he thinks, this is fine, there's no one middle. Maybe he calls that in, and Device says, okay, I'm going to be at the off angle over on A, and then Fitch is there anyway.
And that's, you don't often see Astralis outplayed tactically like that, so very well done from Gambit.
Yeah, I'm impressed. 3 for 3 right now is the scoreline. 7th round coming up here, and they have that one M4, and it's going to get caught. Doja opening up the squeak door. There's Fitch taking the fight in middle first. Dupree, I think, is going to be found. Yeah, Fitch up on that roof, and that leaves it in a 3 versus 5. The rest just have pistols, so should be easy for Gambit to take the round lead here. Very, very well done all around.
Changing the pace on Astralis, and the anti-eco catches him very off guard. First kill on Careby is the M4 going down, and there were their hopes and dreams of that round. Question you start to ask yourself is, if this continues out of Gambit, is there going to be a pause sometime soon early on in this?
Yeah, I definitely would if I was on Astralis' side here. Just there's no reason to let this get too far.
The tough part is there's a lot of money built up now on this Terra side. Oh, there's the timing, and he tags him down to 62. It's close.
That's free damage from Mo. Bit of grenade on top. Just a little sprinkle of damage onto Careby as well. This is getting interesting. I'm hearing the Astralis chants for the crowd, and obviously Copenhagen is just a 20-minute train ride away, so it's going to be a lot of people here cheering for them. Glaive goes down. Careby next in line. Fitch again. brand new on the team, never played at this level before, but it seems like he has for a long time. How do you become a veteran that quickly? Now, it's a 2 versus 5 here. And again, the A-bomb site, they don't stand a chance here. Device goes down. Sip is next. Flawless round coming out of Gambit here. That is incredible. 4 in a row.
That's a slaughter, and you're exactly right. Fitch coming up huge here right as that smoke is fading, still paying attention, still aware, and Astralis gets caught trying to do some kind of awkward aggression in towards middle. It might have been because they didn't have a whole lot of utility with that buy. They wanted to try and get some kind of an advantage before the round got too late, before all their smokes expired. But still, Gambit's prepared for it. That's sick. That's a 5-man wipeout. They didn't lose anyone.
Debris?
They're just winning every aspect of this game at the moment. Early damage, opening picks. Great job of trading when they do execute into the bomb sites, but they haven't even had to do that, and this is interesting from KRB.
Oh, Doja. I thought he was going to go down due to not checking it, but...
It's a little bit of like a lazy check, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to.
Checked it with his face first. Always an issue, but not more than Gambit can recover from it fairly quickly. Glaive, Sip, and Kiebu left. A lot of damage onto Fitch. Be nice if they could find just one more kill for the sake of it, but I would still say that AK-47 is pretty valuable right now for Astralis. It's about to be 6-3 here. So, what do they do, Astralis? What's the call in the next round to get back into this? Because Gambit have really taken control of this game, and it's happened really quickly.
You call Device's number. You say, Device, where do you want to play? Where do you think you want to go with the AWP in this next round to be effective? Where can you go to get us an opening pick? Do you want to go towards middle, see if you can dual Mo if he gets boosted up? Do you want to be aggressive towards B? We saw him try that once. He maybe doesn't want to do it again since he got picked off, but this is where you really need, you know, the guy of your team to find you a kill, to alleviate some of the pressure that Gambit is putting on.
Oh, a little bit of damage there. Well, I'm not going to take anyone with it. Instead, it's a 3-round lead, and there is the timeout being called for Astralis. So I wouldn't say that they are sort of being overwhelmed here, but they're feeling the pressure, I think, ever so slowly. They realize that that CT economy is starting to get a little bit heavy.
It feels like they're being overwhelmed. Look at the money on the Gambit side of things. 15,000 on Doja before he bought. Mo's got 14,000, Adren at 13,000, Hobbit 10,000. They have been, that's a lot of very strong round wins for the Gambit side of things. They've outplayed him in terms of tactics. They've beat him in some aim battles. They beat them in trading. There's not a whole lot you can write home about for Astralis at the moment. Hopefully, this pause gets them right back into the action because they need someone to pick them up.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see exactly how it's going to unfold. Oh, and look at this. We've got some people came very well prepared.
Yeah, they did.
Two bananas. That's incredible. I love it. So much, like, an unreasonable amount of work went into doing this. I love it. Let's see. AWP is still on the Gambit side. As far as I can tell, Device has also picked up one of his own. I think they are just sorting out a quick tech issue because I think they weren't able to hear Sonic in the background. So they obviously want to be able to do that just so he can have a bit of an impact on the team, maybe calm everyone down. You said call Device's number. Just have him in the round. Say, Device, we need a round. Do you want to wake up and do that?
I absolutely call his number, and I think Device, this is where I think you put him in A main. I think you try that out. You've had some A main aggression. There was actually one rifle round they took A main pretty early on, and they didn't get punished for it, and they had control of it. It didn't work out in their favor because Gambit didn't go that route, but I think that's where you can find some, and then if you have that, you cut the map down just a little bit. And it's not really, I think if Astralis went into this and researched cache thinking that this was going to be the map, and they likely did. Remember, this is an Astralis team that we saw kind of just putting Hobbit towards B, Doja in the door, pretty much all on their own. Those two players are all off by themselves. Those are areas where you can take advantage of that because they just leave them on the sides of the map pretty much throughout the whole round, so they always have an option on the other side depending on where the success comes from. So if you're Astralis, those are the positions you want to take advantage of.
I look forward to seeing if they're going to be able to do it at this level. You would think that they are the caliber of team that can certainly do that. How big of an impact do these timeouts have? And some of them in the past have shown that they can really change the game and change the dynamic just by one single tactical timeout.
They've gone for a double up setup on the Astralis side of things. Dupree has one, so does Device. Device over at the B bomb site. There's 3 players, and it's Dupree who actually opens things up, out-dueling Mo, and here's them trying to take advantage of Hobbit. He's not expecting that. beautiful from Astralis. They changed things up.
Now with this kind of a lead, there surely should be no path back in it for Gambit here. 5 versus 3. What kind of a mistake would Astralis have to make to give this round back to Gambit? Let's analyze it like that.
It would be monumental. They would have to have some kind of... I think the mistake would have been perhaps someone continuing to push up at the B bomb site and getting picked off. They would have had to have someone on the extremities get taken out that allows an avenue back to the other bomb site very clearly for Gambit. Just any kind of, you know, aggression. This is where, when you have a 5-on-3, every fight you take, no matter who you are, you need to have a teammate close by. You always need to be in a situation where you have 2 teammates at least taking fights.
I mean, Fitch and Adren are still alive. Especially Fitch, I feel like, has been very good on the entries, just getting those opening kills. So, still be a little bit worried if I was Astralis. Just don't give this one away for free. Device setting up in the angle. There is a bit of a grenade landing in front of him, but we're down to 38 seconds. And there's Fitch opening again and taking down Kirby. You could tell Device is not quite sure which way to look. He's got Sip behind him. There's a bit of a show in the middle. Adren gets the kill. Device will pick up one long range, and Fitch is finally down. He's got a great angle here to maybe try and shut them down, but they're coming in from above. Doja with the kill on Device. And now it's a 1 versus 2. Gambit turning it around. This is unbelievable, and they're going to get the round. Doja picking up the last couple of kills. And Gambit, surely that's close to a knockout punch in the first half here.
That's about as good as it gets if you're Gambit in a 3-on-5, because Astralis was paired up and phenomenally. They had great positions across the map. They had a player in Vents who could help out towards mid. He could also help out towards B. I'm not sure where that first kill that Adren gets came from, but regardless, that is phenomenal trading from Gambit, and this is stellar play from them so far. Fitch again with the opening in mid. That's a big help.
Oh, that's a grenade.
That's a grenade and a half, isn't it?
No armor on Sip, so almost takes him down. Wild spray coming out from Doja, and Device has got that AWP over there, but you saw as Doja was falling back, he sort of made that leap over, so they couldn't even really capitalize on that. This is something like a disaster for the Astralis team in the first half here.
It's starting to form that full-blown disaster. Device even trying to get aggressive, and he gets forced back. He's invested in the AWP. Over towards the B bomb site, it's going to be a split. They know they have Glaive out in the open. He's caught against the wall, and he tries to get out. He does. But they need help, and there's 3 players here now for Astralis.
He's playing so close with that Deagle. Running and shooting and getting shot in the back by Fitch, who goes down to Sip. It's not a bad kill, but there are so many Gambit players here, so the trading, even if it's even, eventually it's going to work out in favor of Gambit. And Doja's coming in on top. There's Device getting a kill. That was down from CT spawn, and he's looking for a bit of a wall bang too. They still don't know that Doja is there. I suspect he's going to be the one to just landslide into this B bomb side. There it is, getting a good kill on Device, and now trapped on the bomb side is Dupree with a 5-7. He gets a good kill, or gets a lot of damage into Adren, but it's not enough.
No, it's not. Again, Gambit having to fight their way into this bomb site and then slowing it down right when needed. I don't know how Doja got there, but that's a brilliant flank to have because they were out of nades. They needed Device taken out of the action. He was holding the line very, very well. Gambit looking to go up 8-3. I don't think this is how anyone imagined this match would start. Kirby, I think, just hoping to obviously get some kills, maybe bring a gun into the next round. But all 3 players of Gambit
just wall banging him down a little bit, and then
they're so aware at the moment. They're not getting caught off by anything.
Oh, they're very well tuned in, and Astralis looked like they were from the beginning too, right? Just a reminder, Astralis lost the pistol, then they sort of came right back. So I think that's what you gave you the feeling that this was going to be one of those Astralis games, and Gambit just not interested at all. 8-3 in favor of the major champions. You've got to remind people that.
Listen, Fitch has a 1-3-3-7 scoreline.
Oh, God.
That explains everything.
It does, doesn't it? Someone quick with a screenshot for the free Reddit karma.
Well, they've slowed it right back down, Gambit has. They know the solution out of the timeout for Astralis was aggression to get him 2 kills and put him in a 5-on-3. They win that round anyway. This time, they don't want to go through that ordeal again. Spamming through, and there's Dupree one more time with the opening kill. This time onto Fitch.
That's important. Now, we know it's not enough because last time they got the first 2 and still lost the 5 versus 3. This time they're going to put up that boost, which is, it had a sort of a moment of popularity around 6 months ago or something like that.
Yes.
And then sort of faded away a bit again. So with most things, when you tend to overuse them, they just become a bit too predictable.
Well, Astralis is going to bring it back in style. Let's see if it works. 45 seconds on the clock. Gambit now readjusting across the map, looking like it's going to be over towards that A bomb site. So maybe we do see the boost come into fashion. KRB at the truck. This is a good defense they can mount here. Although, I mean, fair play to Gambit. They've been so cautious. I mean, look at all the different angles they pre-aim when they take A main.
And the speed, you'd almost think it was still Zeus calling this team. Just how much has Adren learned in just a very short amount of time. Bit of a shot there as Dupree takes down Hobbit. Again, a 5 versus 3. Astralis, they've got to be on the edge. They must win this round. Sip, not quite finding the shot. Dupree now with a triple kill. Maybe almost a quad. Sip will take the last one instead. And Astralis picking up a 4th round. You can hear the Astralis fans are loving it, but...
they need a lot more, don't they?
They do need a lot more.
Apparently the solution for Astralis is Dupree with the AWP. The one thing with that boost is once someone gets killed by it, you obviously know there's 2 players inside the bomb site.
Yeah.
But Dupree wisely, a little bit more mobile, grabbing a different angle by Forklift, and he's going to go for this mid pick again. Pretty ballsy of him to keep challenging Mo, who's proven himself a very capable offer. And here's the aggression towards B. Hobbit's ready for it. Mo's over here with the op as well. So adjustment in the default out of Gambit, maybe feeling a little bit red early on.
Oh, you want to be very careful here if you're on the Astralis side. That smoke has a gap, but also you don't know how many people are waiting on the other side. So at least they've sort of forced Gambit to spend, you know, the next 20 seconds worrying about this. Maybe even more with the secondary smoke.
Still, oh, this is key for Dupree. Nice shot, just getting blinded up, but he's stuck here. He's going to try and fight his way out. No one more peeking, but there's the Molotov. Missed a shot, he's burning! He gets one more! Jumping through, he is going to die eventually, but he's done his job.
That's a high pressure situation. Gambit trying to see if they can get onto the B-bomb site. Hobbit fighting his way in. It's another 2 versus 4 here. And Hobbit making his way onto the side. He's going to go down to device. And Mo, no chance at all here. Going to get sprayed down from Kirby at the end. That's a 5th round for Astralis. The Danish front are loving it. Double AWP setup. Apparently the key for the Astralis team. Who would have thought?
I know, right? This is great from Dupree. I mean, you pretty much know you're going to die at this point. So getting that last kill, doing everything you can. Nice work from Dupree. And he's really given him a foothold, at least in this match, to start climbing their way back in. 5 to 8, it was looking dire. He's given him some hope. An unlikely player, especially with the AWP to do it.
The money for Gambit is just so ridiculous, even after this buy in this round. I mean, for the 15th round, they're still going to have enough to continue the buy, so...
Their buys are so strong, all the while this losing bonus is built up, so it might be a situation where even if they continue to lose, Astralis might never, or Gambit might never have to save again in this match. Mentioned their money a couple times as that lead built up. I guess that's the struggle you get into when 3 players have over $11,000.
Definitely very significant at this point. Now, what can Gambit do there? Streak has been broken a bit, but their executes were looking so good, even when there were a couple of men down, and I think so many of them were launched by Fitch just opening up and getting those kills, so maybe that's the recipe here again.
Get Fitch involved. I like this, though. Go at the A bomb site. I mean, if you're Gambit, oh, that's a nice shot from Zip. You're going to be fine going at Dupree with the AWP. You're going to say, Dupree with the op has to beat us, and Mo wins that one.
Nice Molotov from Sip, trying to just force that player back, but he's going to fall back onto the site. Some blind spray coming through and not quite connecting. And Fitch, can he do it again? Not this time. He's going to be dropped. And a great spray, a great triple from Sip, leaving Adren completely stuck and no chance at all. a bit of a lazy end to that quad kill, but he'll take it.
Yes, very nice from Zipnix. Not even registering emotion. As yes, we know he's just such a rock for this squad. It's great. But yeah, touching on what I was saying, if you're Gambit and you get beat by Dupree with an AWP, that's like fair play, but you're still going to go at him because you don't often see that too much. So, I mean, that's kind of where I would challenge from Gambit.
Right now they... Oh, yeah.
Or spam.
From Mo. Could this really be happening? He's going to go for it. Oh, and he actually legs device to the wall. That's incredibly bold, but you just have to love that. You don't see that every day.
That's sick. That's a time put into servers perfecting that peak. I'm not even sure Device has ever seen that. Beautiful stuff from Gambit.
No, you see people do it just for giggles with the Eagles, you know. Not in real rounds that actually have a big weight here. If Astralis win this round, I think they're gonna they're going to shrug and say, this is fine, we're still very much in the game now. Comes the push towards the B bomb side, and it's going to be fast and aggressive here for Gambit. Mo taking down Device. He finally got that kill, and Glaive trying to hide in the back, but they're all over him, and Doja takes the kill in the end. 5 versus 4, 3 versus 4 now, as Sip does pick up a kill, and Doja's ready and waiting, and if Kirby goes down, the rest of this retake is pretty much dead. They need Kirby to win this fight, and Doja, he's been playing a good game so far. He's going to go for the spray, and he wins it. So Dupree and Sip, 2 versus 4. They obviously have to go for the retake, but I don't see this happening.
They need, perhaps a spam kill would be what they need to get into it, and it's not going to happen. Should be impossible from here, although we've seen a couple of those impossible rounds actually won. But Mo with this angle is the insurance policy. He's going to take at least one with him, unless he's smoked off, so a chance here for Dupree to get in.
It's not a bad smoke at all, and Sip comes flying in. It's a good headshot on Doja. If only he had another smoke, he could maybe force them out. Not going to do too much there, and I think time is up. Mo with a kill. 9-6 in favor of Gambit for the first half here of the third quarter finals.
I think you might have been onto something with Fit 13-3 and 7. He's 13-3 and 11, so he kind of dropped off in the last 4 or 5 rounds of that half, but great job opening. This was a stellar half from Gambit, and an incredible job of Astralis to just, you know, hunker down and find a way to get back into that. It looked like they were just going to get wiped out of the server.
It did. And
Dupree with the AWP.
Dupree with the AWP winning a couple of good fights. I mean, there was some interesting stuff that we haven't really seen too much before. Certainly not consistently. So I will say this. Astralis is one of those teams, I've seen them a number of times on this particular map get as low as even 4 rounds and still win the game on the T side. Right. So if I were Gambit, I'd take a really deep breath here and not lose the focus, because they got to carry this all the way through. It's
even what Yanko said on the desk. This map, is at the moment seems to be leaning towards the Terror side as the more favored one, as where you're expected to get a few more rounds. So if that's the angle you want to take when you think about this map, then Gambit right now is just par for the course at 9-6.
We're going to get back in the second half. Can you make some noise, DreamHack? There it is, Gambit and Astralis. Second half coming up here, and this is looking like a well-prepared Gambit. They did win the major tournament. You cannot underestimate them. Astralis, they've been beaten a little bit in that first half. Now they need to show us what they're made of. And they're going to be on the A bomb site with no opposition, what we call a retake. And Adren, he's there on the flank, and he is a very valuable player. As soon as he goes down, Astralis can focus on the rest, and Mo going to be pushing up towards the forklift. Adren almost getting taken out. He'll fight for his life, and he gets dropped by Glaive. Doja, the only one with a return, and Dupree running Hobbit down, and almost with the second kill. This should be working out for Astralis. They got the 3-on-1, and Doja gets dropped by Glaive. There was non-stop action. Moses.
So good at coordinating aggression for Astralis.
That whole idea of retaking a bomb site, if you're new to the game, that seems like a really stupid idea. Tell me why it's not.
It's just very hard on the pistol rounds to hold that A bomb site because of the utilities that the T side can use to get into the site and to block off, you know, the long range of your USP. If they get into that site at those close angles, it can be so difficult to just get a couple kills and hold on for very long. So a lot of teams choose to just play retake on it, and they'll win the post plants with their own utility and have their own kit. Now, obviously, I think as well, Doja had a kit, so his idea is get into the bomb site, drop a smoke on it, and just try and defuse in the hecticness. But Astralis used their own to keep him locked out. I mean, that was very, very well executed. They even went all through door on the T side. They bypassed even the player on truck. He had no chance of getting any kills before they got the bomb down. It is always a battle of the Counter-Strike theory of do retakes on pistol round ever work if you leave it to a 5-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, you're right. We have seen smoke diffusers happen in those situations if there's enough chaos for that to work out. A bit of a mid-presence here for Gambit. So I think right now Astralis feel like nothing much has been happening here, but they've got to be careful that they don't overlook the 2 players playing on Highway. Hobbit close with the C set as well. Gonna be some grenades coming in, and also Device from behind, and a second player as well. Hobbit staying alive for quite a while. Adren goes for a secondary fight. He's going to get down. Mo trying with the spray. It is working out for a while here. Can Doja save it? Are they going to guess that there's one last player on the bomb site? They've just had a huge fight with the entire Gambit team out there. They might be thinking Doja's in A.
Of course, it's Doja who's just the only one sitting inside the bomb site, and this is a great call from Astralis. They don't mess with B. Even if they don't know he's in the site, they assume that he's rotated to this side of the map, right? So they just bail out. This is a good call from Astralis. It's going to be a clean win for them. It's going to be easy. They won't have to fight for it whatsoever anymore. Doja's going to have a UMP and pick up some leftover utility on the ground. Probably doesn't want to go too far. I don't think there's a whole lot. You can't really imagine you're going to accomplish a whole lot going this round.
And that's why.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah, the lack of armor. Obviously, if you're brand new to the game, if you get hit by anything you don't have body armor, you get aim punched, which was what you just saw. His aim just going into the sky like that.
Yeah, that was a bullet to the forehead as well. You could hear it goosh.
That is no fun at all.
Either way, you mentioned this before this game began, Anders. This is, I mean, they talked about it on the desk. I believe this is a rematch of the Gambit upset from the Major. Astralis, one of the favorite teams to win the Major. This is a bit of a grudge match if you're Astralis.
The favorite team to win the Major. No, but it's absolutely true. And I mean, surely they're going to be incredibly hungry, Astralis, to try and prove themselves, especially now that Zeus is not here. I feel like if Zeus was here, then you know, they'd be thinking, all right, we've got a fair chance here. Now that he's not, it's almost worse if they lose to Gambit without Zeus being there. Like, then, you know, I don't think they're going to be able to forgive themselves for that.
Yeah, fair play. Well, the cool part about this transition that we're starting to see at Malmö is obviously they've probably gained a little bit. If this is going to be the Fitch that's going to be pretty consistent, and you have to imagine he's going to get better and better,
yeah,
then they've gained in firepower. The tactics we saw in the first half weren't too shabby either. Device looking to make that money. Molotov's going to slow him down, though. That's the one that Doja salvaged at the end of the last round, and there's a stack here for Gambit.
There is. Every single player on the CT side, but running right through. And those SMGs certainly worth their weight in gold at the moment. Getting a lot of money on the board for Astralis as they tie up the scoreline, making it 9-9. So pretty uneventful round, but now is the real test. What do you want to see out of Gambit here?
I mean, the crazy thing is they're not going to have the AWP on Mo. He's just picking up an M4. So I'd like to see them again. This is what they were doing on Cassius the other day, going for that A main control. And if they're going to keep doing that, I kind of want to see them to adapt away from it, just because Astralis is obviously a team that goes into matches very well prepared, and that's where they could pick them off if they really hone in on that, much like I talked about on the opposite sides of the map. And they did this round, at least. Gambit stays away from it. All 5 members from Astralis here, though. This could just be a very quick explode of these UMPs.
Doja playing alone, really far forward. He's going to get the first kill on the pre, but he will be returned upon. Hobbit, if they run through this smoke, he's going to be ready. Kirby spots him out. That's very bad news for Hobbit. Trying to get back. He gets the kill. That's about the best that he could have done there, and trying to return it. Mo, they've got to be careful now, Gambit. They don't just fight one at a time on that upper and actually have some sort of team presence. Although Sip gets tagged and killed by a Dren for the smoke. And Fitch is ready to pounce. Device has no idea. Dren also taking down Glaive. That leaves Device. And as soon as he fires this gun, surely Fitch is going to come flying through the vent. Just 50 seconds left, so if only Device had the bomb, he could play a lot of mind games, but the fact that it's on the site means he sort of has to stick around and fight this, and he's locked in.
Yeah, the bomb is going to be so difficult to retrieve, and this is great play from Gambit, not exposing anyone, not giving him any 1v1 fights. I imagine they even just, Mo's at a pretty clever off angle, but I imagine they just give him the plant.
Device getting close like this is a bit dangerous, and Mo going to be going down. Fitch has to break the vent to get in. Did he hear it? Oh, not in time. That's so quick. And that's going to be the kill. If he delays that push, then Device has the audio information of the vent breaking. And that might have been enough. Great round for Gambit, although that was very close.
Yes, you could see as well. Gambit's very fortunate, to get that kill as well. This one pushing through is great stuff. Finding the kill, preventing the plant as well. But the idea with Fitch in that 1v1 is just don't let him plant the bomb and be safe in the bomb site. Don't let him, it's Device, right? You don't want to give him that breathing room whatsoever, no matter how unlikely it is that he wins it. And Astralis pretty grouped up again, boosting over mid. Device and Zipnik's out here. They're going to gain that mid control. There's no one there for Gambit. It's Fitch and A main.
And I love this aggression. We talked about it from Astralis' point of view, but Gambit proving they know how to play the CT side too. And Fitch, he can't really capitalize too much on it now, but it still just gives a lot of information for Gambit to work off of.
Gives a lot of information, though, to Astralis as well. With that deep smoke in A main, they're going to assume that someone's pushed. You can see Zipnix, if there's a push in A main, usually it means there's not as much pressure in mid, so he's pushed all the way up to the highway box. He's biding his time. He's going to be a little bit of a lurker. And where does Gambit, or where does Astralis want to hit here? It looks almost like they're gearing up for some kind of a mid to B split. Glaive is going to go for some information, making a lot of noise. And Adren can hear all this. He's in connector.
A lot of people watching that connector while that smoke was going up, so peeking behind it would have been dangerous. Hobbit hiding in the corner. Flashbang set up for the UMP. And the easiest kill of Hobbit's life, but the return is most certainly there. The rest of the team comes just exploding out of the vent now. Molotov's raining down all over the site. There's only 30 seconds left in Astralis. They need to get on this site and win this round. Glaive, he goes down and sit with a return, but the bomb again dropped in the corner. The Vice with another headshot. Doja doing the best that he can. Pistols out. A couple of bullets here would take down Kierby, and trying for the flank is Fitch. Can he be the hero again? He goes down, and Sip instead with a headshot on Doja. Not many seconds left in that round.
No, there really weren't. And Astralis, fair play to them. They had to fight for it. Gambit almost holding on with the SMGs. Doja just playing a little bit of a trap game, just luring them in. He's not exposing himself, not showing himself inside that bomb site. So Astralis didn't even know he was there, dodging all the flames. But finally, they've done it. They've broken the economy. It's going to be a force buy. There's CZs, there's Deagles on the board, but advantage to Astralis, certainly.
Maybe it's too soon to call it a pattern, but that's twice now where Astralis has sent one man onto the bomb site with the bomb. And the trouble is, if he dies, it gets, you know, dropped in some weird corner.
Right, but I think the theory behind that one, obviously, is they didn't, just because Doja remained so well hidden, they had firebombed the site, no one was peeking as they were streaming in. I think they thought they were safe. Most certainly isn't this round. He's all alone pushed up in mid with just the CZ. Doesn't even inflict a whole lot of damage. We haven't seen that AWP come out. Couldn't come out in the 4th round. And then Astralis made their win so costly that Gambit couldn't afford it in the next one.
That is absolutely an issue right now for Mo specifically. Such an impactful player. A good shot from Adren. Doesn't maybe want to overpeak that too much. Okay, gotta be careful. 4 versus 4 here. It's good to keep the pressure up. Finch has got spotted as well. That's a shame. If he could have snuck in a kill on Sip, that would have put the pressure a lot on Astralis, but they're grouped up and looks like they're just slowly rotating back towards the B-bomb side.
Yeah, they didn't like that A main aggression from Gambit. They spotted 2 players there, one in Dora, Dren pushing A main, so they're just gonna back off. Coming over here, and Hobbit gets back just in time, but maybe just a little bit early, but it works out in his favor. He couldn't get into the site, but he somehow wins that battle versus Glaive, and Astralis, they've got to commit to this now.
This is madness. How does he stay alive? How does he get the kill? Hobbit again, taking one, and the Dren comes in. C set in hand, and 2 bullets, 1 bullet left. And Sip is in so much trouble. I think this is done. He's got 8 seconds, and he's going to make a run for it. What is that godlike play from Hobbit?
He even got there late. He got frozen out in the open and somehow still wins versus Glaive. That's the same issue Astralis had taking the B bomb site just a couple rounds ago, was once that first player goes down, they don't have anyone else attacking the bomb site. They don't have anyone else being the aggressor. Hobbit just delays them just enough, and on the corner of the smoke surprises one more. These are the heroics we saw yesterday that got Gambit to win. Was those rounds from Hobbit. Was winning those save rounds with the CZ. Now Mo has the AWP.
That's just absolutely frightening. It looked like they had a perfect call. If Hobbit dies, then Doja's alone on the site with just a smoke up. So probably he gets overrun. Bit hesitant for Astralis. Looked like they were a bit sort of lingering around towards the edge there, not committing to the fight. Maybe that's what they need. They've certainly already spent a lot of utility on this bomb side. Spray is coming through, but not really connecting with anyone. And Glaive is first in with the UMP, trying to clear it out at the forklift. Adren gets one. Sip with a nice headshot. But they need more. Astralis, now they're starting to get really far behind. What a flash in. But Mo is there, saving his team. That's one hell of a kill. And now it's a 2-on-3 with the bomb down.
And where do you go if you're Astralis? It's so hard to get away. You know there's an AWP at the car. You can't smoke that off. You just have to live and die the positions you're in at the moment. Flashbang stringing in. And Zipnix, he's going to have position in quad.
Yeah, this is definitely not easy. plenty of time on the clock. The only thing is most, with the kit, so if he goes down far away, you've got to watch for that one little detail. There's Hobbit getting down. Sip trying to be a champion. He's already got the triple, and Dupree hiding. He knows the bomb is out of the open. Gambit, they've done so much to get back in here. Doja's going to go down, and so will Mo. And somehow, behind a quad kill from Sipnex, it's 11-11 as the score is tied up. What a win from Astralis.
This guy is so important to the success of Astralis. We saw it in the first half as well, getting them on the board with a triple kill when their CT side was getting overrun. But these are just brilliant off angles that he's holding to get that initial kill in the 2 versus 3. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of places you could choose from at that point. You don't have any utility to move out of the bomb site, so Xyp9x is living or dying there. And boy, does he deliver.
And there was so much going on in that round. I love the idea of Glaive being flashed in towards Truck.
Yes.
And then even more impressive was the fact that Mo saved his teammates. I think they were both flashed.
Yes,
so it probably would have been a double kill. At least one of them would have gone down.
And if Mo's there a second earlier, he gets flashed as well. So a little bit of timing fortune on the side of Gambit. What's not fortunate for them is this CT side. They've won 2 rounds and they lose both rounds immediately after it. It's not been clean wins either, so their economy has just been in shambles. Astralis is using that to climb their way back in. It's all tied up. This game swinging back and forth.
Sip is having one of his really crazy games at the moment.
You're going to love this, Anders. 2 pop flashes on Adren, smoke and A main. This is for a timing push. This could be perfect.
Oh, let's go. Dupree gets 1, gets a second as well, and they're just a bit too long taking the kills. Device trying to stay alive, but actually Glaive there going to go down a Fitch, who's very low on health, but incredible return on investment here for Gambit already. Adren should not be winning this round with the USP, but let's not count him out just yet. He does look like a James Bond villain. He's got the gun for it as well. Device will eventually take him down. It's a 12-11 scoreline here. So Astralis back in the lead. But that's so much out of that one round.
That's beautiful, beautiful as well to see just a couple flashbangs investment of what it can get you. I'll just say it right now. I think if Gambit has CZs or P250s, they likely win that round. That was everyone from Astralis blind in that A main. And just because the USPs are so weak against armor, they couldn't get the kills quick enough. But a dangerous scenario for Astralis. They're going to be a sigh of relief after that.
Yeah, this is where they can't let go. I mean, they might feel like this second half is sort of more on the rails. They're doing a good job, but they've got to keep the focus as well. Gambit, their real problem is the economy. Well,
we've only seen Mo with an AWP 1 round, which was one of my personal keys to the victory of Gambit in this map that I mentioned right before it went live. He's only had it once, and he didn't even buy it. He just salvaged it. He's never had the money to purchase it.
A lot of Molotovs being pushed in. Still a couple of players from Astralis are missing, but they're certainly getting a lot of control, and both the Gambit players are pushed back into the site, and that hasn't been how they've defended normally. They've had one guy, Oppa, who can help out, so I'm not sure I'm loving this right now. Adren gonna get knocked out from Kjaerbye, and now can this defense hold on? It's just not very strong at the moment. They've got no more grenades left. That Molotov gonna force Doja back. Somehow he lives. And Kjaerbye and Sip are still falling back.
The reason they're playing that defense is because Fitch was pushing A main, so we had the intel that nothing was there, and Adren and Mo were pushed up in mid as well, ready to box that in. So they're playing deep in the bomb site to force Astralis to commit so the flank can come out of the vents. But Astralis reads that danger and readjusts. The bomb is down though, and there's 25 seconds.
Yeah, what are they doing? Someone's going to make the call, surely. This is kind of mad for Astralis, and I mean incredibly mad. Hobbit and Doja are on the bomb site. If they get one right kill here, this round is going to be over. 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the Astralis push, flooding onto the bomb site. Hobbit goes for the spray. There's only 4 seconds. The Xyp9x, he's going to get 3 seconds. Can they get the bomb down in time? It seems not. And Gambit going to win the round. Unbelievable. Astralis. What was that, Moses?
There's no explanation. That maybe starting to feel the pressure, maybe not realizing and seeing the time of the round, but that call comes way too late. 22 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is still dropped at Red Box. You still have Kjaerbye all the way over by Squeaky Door. He had to book it over to the B bomb site, and that's, if anything goes wrong, you just don't make it in. As you can see, the fight was too powerful from Gambit, and even though the trades come in, they're left with nothing. There's the up from Gib. Oh.
Actually does tag Doja. Headshot would have been obviously even better. Scoreline is tied up at 12-12, and now you're starting to feel the weight of every single round here, no matter what side you're on. None of them have any kind of economy, so if you start losing now, could be the end of the map for you.
These rounds on a knife's edge. Again, Fitch pushed into A main, and I don't know if Astralis just doesn't realize this is happening, but they've never solved it. This allows Adren and Mo to play a little bit more aggressively in mid, allows them to have so much more information as we've repeated in this half. Essentially, it's starting to cut this map into, you know, a third of this map off limits, essentially, but he's boxed in, Xyp9x is in door. And how long does Fitch actually want to stick around with no backup here?
I mean, he's so confident, and you sort of have to give it to him based on how he's been playing. Maybe it's worth it for him to play like this. You see Glaive is ready to line up a smoke, and it's going to land towards the top railing, I think. A little bit of damage on the device in middle, and looks like a three-man push towards mid here for Astralis. Maybe trying to crunch the bomb side. Mo gets one, but Kirby with a good return. The bomb, though, dropped in the middle, and I'm looking at that clock again and getting just a bit anxious. 28 seconds as Kirby goes down. Mo is still covering it from the sandbags, and they don't have a Molotov to clear him out. Glaive gonna come charging in with a UMP to take down Mo. So now 3-on-3, but 18 seconds. It's do or die time, and Fitch is alive, still in main, to take down Xyp. They're over at the other side. They may have done this. Can they hold on?
Oh, Doja's gonna be gutted. He left the beat bomb to the no-scope. Doesn't work. Big kill if Doja can find it. Displaying restraint, though. Device has to hunt him down. He can't do it. Doja, an impressive play. And he wins it for Gambit. Gets back into position just in the heat right of the moment.
Were those blanks in the AWP? We've seen some crazy no-scopes. We just saw two fail miserably in a row. And that gives Gambit so much to work with.
He had to have been gutted that they went into that B bomb site just when he left, but in reality, that round is just the power of Fitch and A main. With all the information, it allows Adren and Mo to be in mid. Mo drops the bomb. That's unfortunate for Astralis, but the reason why it's not immediately traded and picked up sooner is because Adren's there fighting his teammates. They couldn't get close up to trade out Mo. They had no Molotovs to force him out. That extra player in mid just wins the round.
Oh, what a crazy game this is. 26th round here. Gambit showing once again what a great team they are. Very tough second half for them, but eventually they found a way to make it work, and now they're trying to switch it up so it doesn't become too predictable either, which I kind of like. Well,
quite like that as well, don't you?
It's not bad at all. A little showmanship coming out of the device. It's not going to save the game for them, but...
No, it's just a love tap. Regardless, you want to see Astralis in this next round. They need to pick up the aggression. They need to have someone take the initiative. They cannot let... That's 2 rounds in a row that they've essentially lost to the bomb timer. Yes, they lose the battles, but you can't be leaving these bomb site takes for less than 20 seconds left. Fitch up top. I think he's... No chance he gets taken down in this. And there's the bomb. Device is the only one left in A main. 14-12 is going to be the score, Anders.
Incredible. You really rarely see Astralis play like they're a bit scared or like they don't quite know what to do. Usually they're very committed, but...
That is the feeling you get, though, isn't it, watching this? This is a couple rounds where, I don't know if it's Glaive not making the call in time or some of the information not being passed along, them losing track of something, but very uncharacteristic.
Xyp and Device are playing well, but they're currently getting outdone by Fitch, who's got 22 kills.
This guy, where's he come from?
I don't know. Whoever, there must have been quite a few teams who maybe had the chance to pick him up, and then suddenly Gambit's like, well, just make him a superstar.
Yeah, we'll take it. Well, wasn't it the story was like, was it Mo and Hobbit that played with him in a previous team, or Adren and Hobbit that played with him in a previous team? And they're just like, yeah, let's bring him back. But if these guys were all already on a team together at one point in their careers, and
it's like he's good. We can just take him out of nowhere and just have him play on an international stage, and
let's see how he does.
One of the best in the world.
Yeah, maybe go elsewhere, but he's just destroying Astralis at the moment, so earning his spot on this team, especially after a major victory of hoisting the trophy. That's no easy task to do. This time you're going to see Astralis a little bit limited in their T-side arsenal. No AWP on device, and double op for Gambit.
We already know that could be dangerous, and I like this. So much pressure on Astralis, and Hobbit decides to add a bit more and push outside of B with the AWP. That's definitely dangerous if he takes the kill on Dupree, who's sort of waiting for him, but still, AK versus AWP. Hobbit wants to keep going, and he's going to win the fight. That's so brutal. Astralis, now they're in trouble.
They're losing the battle of the extremities on Cash Anders, and it's really punishing them. They cannot control it, and therefore they have no map control. I said it'd be interesting to see how they were able to adjust and use it, and they can't. Oh, Bitch needs to get up. He's not up yet. Now he spots one, but it's too late.
Well, as you said, they know that there are a couple of people there. The spray almost taking down Fitch. Gambit might be getting too creative here. Just keep it cool. It's been working so far. Adren playing close devices right in the corner. He sees the shadow, and Adren gets one, but Glaive already on the site as well to take down Fitch. Kirby waiting and somehow still not getting that fight through. Mo gonna get saved by a teammate, and Sipnix, he's completely surrounded. They're everywhere. It's gonna be 50 rounds for Gambit. A very confusing round, and again, some of these fights for Astralis, especially maybe the one for Kirby this round, hard to explain.
It's not nearly as convincing watching these A-takes as it was when you had Gambit on the terrorist side. You could see Device gets into the site but doesn't want to move from that position. He's waiting for someone to help him out. Glaive's trying to come over the top, but the real thing is Mo in that bomb site just staying alive that whole time, not really showing himself. Astralis has no idea he's there. Feels like Gambit's just one step ahead at the moment.
Yes.
Desperation out of Astralis. UMP on Dupree. Just pistols to bring into this round. This might just work though, Anders. There's no one inside the A bomb site. Fitch is playing back towards Truck. It's a mid-control idea. This could be perfect. This might be how they get themselves back into it.
Astralis swinging for the fences here, trying to hold on to Cash. They do make their way across, so none of those bullets hitting. Don't ask me why. And Astralis should be an easy enough bomb plant. They've got it out in the open so they can cover it from main. They've still got grenades. This is looking good.
No one budged for Gambit until that bomb actually got planted, so it's going to be tough. There's still good utility. Molotov on KRB, nades and flashbangs. They can delay a little bit longer, but Gambit has to find some kills before they commit to this. There's one from Fitch, and Dupree getting chipped down by nades as well. Zipnix falls.
Dupree charging through the smoke behind his own flashbang with a UMP to take down Mo, and a second one. Well, Doja's down. Dupree, he's out of bullets. Long range, and he gets another one with the Glock. Finally, he's down. And Kirby, the last one left, holding on to the map with just a deagle and 12 health. The defuse in. 2 seconds left. They line up. And Kirby, are you kidding? Shutting him down. Bomb explodes, taking Kirby with him, and that's 13 to 15. It could not possibly get any closer, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see the time that was left on that defuse.
What a hero, but it's Dupree who's thanking him as well. Adren, unfortunately, just walking into his Glock, but that is so beautiful. Kirby not letting Dupree's fight go in vain, and they stay alive, 13-15. Now the uppercut, fast-paced towards B. Hobbit just around the corner. He's immediately traded. Doja's got to hold off. He's got to delay. He's done it so often at this bomb site, and he has to do it one more time, and Mo's here now.
Up on the box. What an angle from Doja. Not easy to catch at all. And the flashbangs, they're not doing anything to him. There's Mo taking down Device and pushing in. The bomb again is dropped, and Mo getting a kill on Glaive. And this might be the end. Kirby goes down 16 to 13 in favor of Gambit. Incredibly well played. What an intense game. And it's only the first in a best of 3.
Oh my God, what a pace that Gambit set coming out in that first half. And they carried it all the way through. That, you do have to say, they played so incredibly well, but it is uncharacteristic. Even that last round from Astralis, was a Kirby and Glaive just nowhere near the bomb site. They have to take that over. There didn't seem to be any urgency in getting into the bomb sites.
And we were talking about this. We don't often see that from Astralis. Like, it takes a lot to really shake them, but Gambit succeeded in that. So, I mean, I think I would take that as almost a measure of how well Gambit was playing. They actually managed to shake Astralis out of their confidence zone.
That's a really good point to make. Fitch was stellar again. Can't talk enough about this guy. And I think that's exactly right. It's just they got destroyed so many times. Oh, I like those. That's quite nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's just the way that they played. Just Astralis really got put out of their game, and you don't see that frequently.
You really don't. It's only map 1 though, which is exciting.
Yeah,
everyone's saying quick 2-0 for Astralis, you know.
Eating their words in the back.
Yeah, Chad is loving it right now.
Yeah, Chad is very happy, I'm sure.
Look forward to seeing that. What an incredible game it was. We are going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be map 2. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen.